Just last week, OpenAI launched its own AI browser called Atlas. Now, AI browsers are supposed to be the next big web intervention. So, it's no surprise that one of the world's most well known AI companies is producing its own. Here's what Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, said during Atlas's live stream launch. AI is a rare, once in a decade opportunity to rethink what a browser can be about, how to use one, and how to most productively and pleasantly use the web. The promise is basically that you won't be scrolling through web pages on your own. You will be accompanied by ChatGPT, and the use cases are apparently limitless. You can ask it to summarize an article, or in agent mode, you can even have it add a box of chocolates to your cart. It sounds cool, it sounds cutting edge, and it sounds like it could save you some precious minutes in your day. A lot of people are, of course, excited by the prospect. A Wall Street Journal article, for example, proudly proclaims in its headline that the journalist who tested out a few AI browsers is now a convert. But other corners of the internet have responded to the launch with a resounding okay. Some less than enthusiastic tech reviewers feel that agentic browsers are trying to address problems that no one really has. And in certain more scathing reviews, users are saying it doesn't seem to be as intuitive. Take this article from Wired, for instance. Journalist Reese Rogers tested out Atlas in a variety of scenarios. The one that stuck out to me and got an unintended chuckle out of me was when they asked ChatGPT for help deciding which email they should respond to first. ChatGPT's answer? It asked Rogers to prioritize one he had already answered. So, it doesn't seem like a lot of consumers are finding enough of a draw to make the switch from a regular browser to an AI led browser. Add to that concerns about data privacy and security, and you get a product that makes a lot of promises but doesn't quite meet it. Or, as OpenAI employees would say, doesn't seem to quite meet it yet. But it's not just browsers that are seeing this product market mismatch. A couple months ago, OpenAI announced that it was integrating some popular apps into itself. Apps like Canva, Spotify, Figma, Booking.com, and more. The promise? That AI can design for you, make playlists for you, and make bookings for you all from within the ChatGPT platform. It sounds borderline revolutionary. But if ChatGPT was fundamentally changing the way we interact with such tools, shouldn't we have heard about it by now? Welcome to Daybreak, a business podcast from the Ken. I'm your host, Rachel Verghese, and every day of the week, my co-host, Snigdha Sharma and I will bring you one news story that is worth understanding and worth your time. Today is Friday, the 31st of October. So, what are these integrations supposed to do? Ideally, it's making it easier for you to do everything within the ChatGPT platform itself. Once you type in an ad, you get a list of apps to work with, namely Canva, Spotify, Booking.com, Coursera, Expedia, and Figma. Then you can choose an app of your choice and issue commands through ChatGPT. You can ask it to design a post on Canva or generate a morning run playlist on Spotify. You could even ask it to help you plan a trip with Booking.com. Now I've tried the Canva design feature myself, and it's kind of underwhelming at best. Okay, so you can argue that a lackluster prompt would give you a lackluster design. But let's also think about it this way. In the same time you spend engineering or re engineering a prompt, in case you don't like the design you get, you could probably find an existing Canva template that meets your exact needs. Even if you were to put the design quality aside, let's say you want something that looks halfway decent and not exactly that elaborate, turns out some of the design links ChatGPT provides are broken. Some users said that they were taken to error 404 pages when they tried to follow the design links that ChatGPT had generated. So it seems like the results of these integrations are mediocre at best and buggy at worst. They're still not a real replacement for human work. And then when you consider the security risks of integrations like this, then it's easy to see why usage isn't really picking up. If you didn't know about the security concerns, here's a quick overview. For AI browsers especially, your agent AI could run into malicious prompt injection while crawling through the web. Prompt injection is basically when bad faith coding in websites prompts AI agents into doing something it shouldn't, which can range from sharing sensitive information to downloading malware. Now, to be fair, it's not something that average consumers need to worry about actively. It's unlikely that you're going to run into these malicious sites if you're sticking to regular corners of the internet. That said, it still doesn't mean you can move through this GPT-5 ecosystem without caution. And so, it might be best to leave any sort of financial handling to your human accountant. So, if people aren't seeing a massive upside to the way they can operate by using these tools, and it doesn't seem like usage is picking up exponentially, at least for now, why is OpenAI pushing these integrations so persistently? More on this in the next segment. Really, no one is doing it like OpenAI. It's everywhere. So the question is, why? Well, for one, it's trying to be a super app. It's trying to lock you into this ecosystem so that every thought or decision you make it through ChatGPT. It doesn't want you to leave for anything. And if that sounds like a difficult feat to manage, especially considering they haven't been having the most successful run so far, it's not exactly that impossible. There is, in fact, precedence for this. China's WeChat is the role model. It's essentially the first ever super app. What started out as a messaging app started integrating social media aspects, think Facebook, and then slowly other mini apps until you could hail a ride, order dinner, or pay a friend all through the same app. It's been wildly successful in China, and it seems like OpenAI is trying to head the same way. In fact, Uber is supposed to be one of the next few apps that will be integrated into ChatGPT. But if the adoption seems to be lagging behind, what's the draw here for OpenAI? After all, we know running AI is incredibly expensive. Large AI models like ChatGPT require massive amounts of computing power, electricity, and high end chips, which are already in global short supply. Every response involves thousands of calculations across huge data centers that need to stay cool, fast, and secure, which means heavy infrastructure costs. On top of that, the data used to train these models has to be cleaned, labeled, and constantly updated to stay relevant and accurate. So you can imagine what the costs look like if ChatGPT is running in tandem with several different other apps. OpenAI isn't exactly profit making yet either. In fact, they're steadily burning cash. You see, at the end of the day, it's a trade off. To make back what it's burning, it needs to be able to charge users. And for it to confidently charge users need to find it indispensable. You know how the ChatGPT Go plan was the cheapest in India at $399? And now Indian users can use it for free for a whole year. It's all part of the same plan. Basically, you should not be able to do anything on the internet without it being through ChatGPT. The more you depend on it for every banal query or task, the more likely you are to pay for it when they decide to stop being free. It's all about fueling adoption now to build habits for later. And for their products to become indispensable, to meet the lofty expectations they've set for themselves, these products need to get better. And what do AI products need to get better? Data. So, of course, to collect that data, OpenAI needs to know everything about you. What you want to know or learn or create, every prompt you enter, every suggestion you reject is exactly what will eventually make ChatGPT impossible to live without. Essentially, OpenAI is playing the long game. It's betting that as long as it keeps churning out products and integrations, something will eventually stick with its user base. And the faster that happens, the better it works out for the company.
Daybreak is produced from the newsroom of the Ken, India's first subscriber focused business news platform. What you're listening to is just a small sample of our subscriber only offerings. A full subscription offers daily long form feature stories, newsletters, and a whole bunch of premium podcasts. To subscribe, head to theken.com and click on the red subscribe button on the top of the Ken website. Today's episode was hosted and produced by my colleague Rachel Varghese and edited by Rajiv Sien.